Good evening, good evening, boomers. Midlife Priceless here again, and I can't find my tripod, so that's why I have to look down like this. I laid it down somewhere, I just don't know where I put it. So tonight, Midnight Oil is all about Midnight Oil, by the way, is the playlist that you're in. Midnight Oil tonight is taking us back to the cast and the shenanigans going on with this TV show on Netflix. It's The Young, Famous, and African. They are a hot mess. I binge watched season one. And if you go back to a video I posted not too long ago, I'll put it in the description for this show. But let me tell you, I've kind of touched on it a little bit because I had only seen one episode and maybe one third of the next. You got to see this show. This is something else. I will admit that the first season rather whetted the appetite for the show. I don't watch a lot of reality shows. I really don't. I maybe I don't know what I'm supposed to expect and all of that. But my generation, we didn't have reality shows like what you see now. And you certainly didn't get on TV cussing and fussing and putting your dukes up. But that seems to be the way it goes. So this is sort of a restart to the conversation I was having about the cast and the things that go on this show. So if you don't have Netflix, you wouldn't be able to see it, I don't believe. But Young, Famous, and African makes it worth my $4.99 a month because I'm just not a cable subscriber. So the first channel is the newcomer. And the newcomer has it's the first episode. Oh no, sorry. Welcome to South Africa is the first episode of the first season. The newcomer is the second episode of the first season. And now here's what. They are they're just getting the show started at this point. And now mind you, I think they're on season 3 or season 4, something like that. And this season seems to introduce the whole concept. I'm not sure I understand why they're friends, their history together, where they put together like a boy band or a girl band or something, and that the producers put them together. And I also find the intrusion into each other's personal lives and the entitlement that they seem to have for one another in conversation is a little alarming because I don't know why, for example, I'm sorry, not Kanye, she seems to just feel responsible for getting to the bottom of things. I mean, she's so self appointed. But anyway, the first season introduced the characters, like I said in the first episode. They all gathered in South Africa to start this show. And I lived in southern, not South, but southern Africa for a number of years. And I can promise you, it is as beautiful as it looks on TV. It really is a gorgeous place. And I miss it all the time. So, as the show continues into the second episode, I took some notes. And this is really, it's a lot going on. So let's start off with Diamond taking Nadia shopping for a car. I've mentioned that before, and basically Nadia is giving Diamond Platinums is his stage name, giving him advice. Thank you for the hearts, whoever gave them to me. Um, takes her with him to shop for a car. Now, mind you, he only needs the vehicle for a month, but he's looking at everything from high end with the scissor doors and the this and that. You would think he's going to keep it forever, but that's not the plan. So anyway, they go on, and I hear Diamond say, "Her wish is my command," and I wonder if somehow you get the impression that he's smitten with her, but her wish is my command was a bit overreaching given the fact that Diamond just loves all the ladies, as they say. Pause for just a second here. I need to fix something here. And let's see if I can get this here. Hmm. And okay. So we're good. All right. So here's what Kanye and Annie, I mentioned before, they clash and they have a whole deal. They are squabbling and fussing about whether or not Kanye is a good mother. Now, Kanye has given her daughter her own apartment and she lives next door, which I don't even know a place where that's a norm or acceptable in some kind of way, but that's what happened. And Kanye says to Annie, they have a confrontation, and she says, "I'm not a kangaroo. I have no place to put it." I know she was trying to be cheeky and have a clap back, but your daughter is not a it, honey. She's your daughter, and I just had a hard time with that. Excuse me, my allergy is really giving me a hard time. And anyway, they go on and they're squabbling back and forth. And Kanye says, "Well, we put our careers before our kids, so you're no better than me." I think that she felt Annie was giving judgment on her lifestyle and her parenting skills. But I mean, I agree with Annie on this one. How is it that you have a child living on her own, and then when you meet her daughter, she asks her daughter, "Am I a good mother?" You're asking your daughter that, your 15-year-old daughter, as if she knows what parenting is all about. And of course the daughter says, "Oh, I like it," because she's got her independence prematurely, but she has it. So on the story goes, the season continues to develop, and oh, Kaylee. Kaylee is so cute. She seems to be some sort of a fitness instructor or something. And Kaylee spills the beans about her life with her boyfriend, and his stage name is Naked DJ. And his real name is Quentin, apparently. But I mean, Quentin seems like he is such a nice guy, and they make a good couple in general. But Kaylee is just so unhappy with him because he's not living up to her ideal. Here we go with the ideals again, which is Annie's problem, in my opinion. Annie has an ideal. She met her husband when she was 15 years old. It's too young to make a lifetime decision, to me, in just my personal opinion. But if you're going to be married, well, she didn't marry at that age. She met him at that age. But if you're going to make a commitment like that, you have to know that it's a chance in a million it's going to work out for you. And I won't even be a spoiler and tell you what's happening currently, present day. This show I'm talking about is 3 seasons ago. And so, hey, hi, Dark Sister. Hello, Pescador da Capital and Tubers93. Good evening. How are you all? Welcome to Midlife Priceless. If you haven't liked, commented, subscribed, or shared, please do so. If you have never been to my channel, you know I hate saying that, but I'm supposed to say it, so now I say it. Fine. So moving on, we also have Swanky. He takes Annie on a helicopter ride. It's her first time and she's freaking out. It was a cute little thing that he did to try to cheer her up and get her out of the rut she's been in lately. And um, we also, oh, the daughter. I wrote a note for her. Kanye's daughter's name is, I thought I put it here. I don't see it anymore. But anyway, moving on. So we have, oh, her name is Kanyesha, something like that. I got it all twisted. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. So, oh, her name is Khans, Khanz. I found it, Khans. The Khans is the daughter, and asking Kanye, her mother, ask her if she's a good mother or not. She wants to be a modern mom. My mother said to me once, I said to her, I want you to be more like a friend. And my mother said, I will never be your friend. I'm your mother. I don't want to be your friend. You go find friends. I'm your mother. So don't even try it. We're not going to ever be friends because friends will lie, cheat, and steal from you. I'm your mother. That'll never happen. I've come to appreciate what that really means. So, on delay. Now, here's something. I made a mistake. I thought that Kanye and Andale were connected, that they were involved in a relationship. Well, they're not. They are platonic friends. And it gets revealed later who Kanye is involved with, and she is I don't think she's cruel. I just find her to be intrusive. That's what I would say about her. So Andale, I say Andale, maybe it's Andile, but anyway, he comes to find himself smitten, as the season reveals, with who they call the boss lady, and her name is Zari. Zari is almost as bad as Kanye. She is, they call her the boss lady, and she's bossy, which is another thing. Um, I think Kanye is a little threatened by her because, in truth, Zari has the power and the reach and the appeal to the whole group to take over her circle of friends. And I don't think she wants that. So, on and on the story goes. And then now we come to Kanye and Kaylee and what's the other sister's name? The rapper girl, Nadia. They all meet at the mall. And on their meeting, Kanye feels free to ask her, well, how long have you been seeing each other? And she says, it's been about a year. She said, oh, and you should have a baby by now. That's so forward. I didn't like that at all. You don't ask a person why they don't have children or suggest that they should have had them by now. Hi, Kaiser. Good evening. Welcome in. And on this thing goes. Like I said, Kanye has a way of just forcing herself on people, and it just drives me crazy. Hi, Renata. Renata Dutra, good night from Brazil. Um, so then we keep going, and it turns out that Zari is the ex-wife of Diamonds. And the thing about Diamond is that he has already started hitting on Nadia. So when all the women get together, Nadia is there, his ex-wife is there, and Kaylee, God help her, she's just real chatty. She mentions how Diamond has been chasing Nadia, and the ex-wife knew nothing about it. So it got real messy at the at the lunch table for a minute. But we're going to meet also Annie's husband at some point. Two Baba, they call him. The number two, Baba. And I understand how young love continues over a lifetime sometimes. and it's hard for people to let go. But Annie should have let go of this man a long time ago, as in long, long, long time ago. Hey, Life with Julie. Hi, family, she says. Good night, good night. Welcome in to Midlife Priceless. We're talking about this TV show I've been binge watching lately. It's called Young, Famous, and African. I can't say that they're very young, but I can tell you one thing. They change wigs like you and I change our undergarments every day, every scene. These women have on a different wig. It's almost maddening because you can't. It's almost distracting. You see Kanye in one scene and she's talking. She's got black hair. Then she goes to reflect and she got green hair. And then this one with the long, I don't know what you call it. I guess they're supposed to look like locks, but they're platinum blonde on Nadia. It's too, it's a lot for me. I'm trying to hang in there with their characters. I'm going to hang in there with the show because I love the show, but I'm struggling with how to relate to their personalities and their persona because there's quite a difference between the two. So, Tu Baba, let me go back a little bit. There's a Arabian Nights party hosted by Diamond, and everyone comes. Now, Arabian Nights, what does that make you think of? You know, night on the desert, candles, lanterns, oil lanterns, and things like that. Well, that's what they have. But when Annie comes, she's dressed more for the nightclub. She's got on this black mini dress, black sequin, and she can hardly sit down. And someone, I guess, gave her a blanket or something to put over her lap so we couldn't see all of the goodies. But they have this event. Diamond is hosting it. Now, keep in mind, he's been chasing Nadia for the last couple of episodes. And what do you think happens? But his ex wife shows up. He doesn't know how to handle a situation, yet he has invited everyone. And I'll tell you, he and the guys went out on the golf course. Oh no, sorry. This was it the golf course or either it was the bachelor party because Annie and her husband have a renewal of their vows. But at any rate, Diamond is given a verbal dress down by the fellas because they're like, man, all that mess you made, all these women all over the place. And he doesn't want to own it for anything. And he says that it's like gum and grapes. You shouldn't throw out the gum just because somebody gives you a grape. So they said, so what are you supposed to do? He said, you're supposed to hold the gum in your hand, eat the grape, and then you can put the gum back in. And that's how he sees women. Interchangeable. Gum and grapes. I promise you. Diamond is a real piece of work. So back to what I was saying. So Tu Baba shows up on a video call, FaceTime. And Annie is just beside herself. She's just showing the camera. She's like a little girl, all because her husband called. Now, mind you, she and her husband have 4 kids together. Why is she excited like a little girl? I don't know, but that's exactly how that went. Hmm. So, Tu Baba does the most romantic everything. I mean, she was out having lunch with what's his name? Let me see here. I have to look, it's a lot of characters. Swanky. Annie and Swanky went out to lunch, and Swanky pretends he doesn't know anything of what's going on. All of a sudden, all of these dozens of roses show up at the table. Oh, let me go and see what's going on. And he leaves. And then Tu Baba sneaks up on her, and she's delighted. It really is a very sweet scene. He talks about their first romantic time together. He puts out a picture on their dinner table. They go to Sun City, and he puts this table, I mean, this picture of them on the table, um, of them when they were dating, and she just gets so emotional. And he whips out the baddest ice, baby. That damn band was like four loops, and then they were bound together at the back, but they reached over her whole knuckle almost. It was just beautiful. Life with Julie said she probably remembers something real sweet that rekindled her brain. I agree. It's just that Tu Baba seems to have overwhelmed her and love bombed her to the point that she just has lost all ability to discern. And for me personally, I kept thinking, why now does he show up in such a grand fashion? It's almost like he wanted the viewers to know him. Never mind, this really wasn't about Annie, it was about him. Look at me. Look how I flex. Look how I flow. Look how I floss. That's how I took it. And I just did not like him. From the minute he arrived on the show, I did not like him. And I still don't like him. So we'll see what happens. Um, what else can I tell you about the first season? Oh, there you are. You know, I had a blackout there for a minute. Hey, Colt. Imagine Ninja had a low taper fade. Low taper fade. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about, Colt? I'm trying to think. You mean Tu Baba? If he had a a low taper fade, it's not his appearance, you know. It's just, mm, just wasn't feeling it. Shipper Dip says hi, hi. Good night and welcome in to Midlife Priceless. Yeah, you're right, Shipper Dip. This generation is crazy. I'm just surprised to see how they all interacted. And Swanky, by the way, was on the cover of GQ South Africa. I didn't know that. Apparently, he's the stylist to know. So, okay, fine. Give him his props. The thing about Swanky is, I take him to be the mediator. His function seems to be the mediator of the group. And interestingly enough, Kanye convinced um, Kaylee and Naked DJ Quentin to go to couples counseling, and she said that her partner, her friend, would not come, so she leaves, and it leaves them with the counselor, and they have some confrontational conversation. And if anything I saw of season two as an indication, it paid off. So, you know, couples counseling isn't always a bad thing. This season, what did I learn? Number one, keep people out your business. Right. The second thing I learned from this season is be careful becoming someone else in the process of your relationship growing, or in some cases failing. If you cannot be who you presented, and when the mask falls off, we now have to deal with the reality of you. And it seems like there's a whole problem here with people not being who they really are. And the one they call, hey, Black Girl Magic, is Slay. Hampton Hugs. Hi. Hi. It's a pirate event, you know? So, yeah. So, Zari, I see her as a problem. Zari is a power woman, and it's wonderful that she has all this power, but she doesn't use it for good. She uses it to manipulate. And this circle of people, they want to say that they're friends and that she's trying to manipulate and control them as if it's a business arrangement. So I can appreciate that, but I never got the impression they were friends anyway. And by the way, Zari was already upset with Kanye because it appears that There was a rumor at one time that Kanye was sleeping around or messing around with Zari's husband, who's Diamond, remember? Her excuse was that she and Diamond had shared a bottle of champagne. And of course I backed it up and twerked. What do you mean, of course? Girl, bye. Kanye, I've already talked ad nauseum about. Nadia seems to be on the trajectory of minding her own business right now. She had a boyfriend. She went to meet him. They spent this wonderful vacation together, and she came back and it turns out they split up. Swanky, we've talked about. Diamond, we've talked about. I'm looking at my notes. Cheating. Um, Andale, I'm starting to feel a type of way about Andile, whichever way I should say that. I'll learn as I go. But Andile has a slippery side to him. I think he wants the life that his father provided for him. He grew up in a strong family, but it seems he doesn't want to live up to all that's required to make that happen in his own life. It's hard to be a good man, I get that. But of all the people for him to decide he has a thing for, it's Zari. Now, you and Diamond are friends and you busy chasing his ex? Let me tell you, when the season ended, several things happened. First of all, Annie got married, and of all the people to make remarks, it was Kanye who gave the toast, and it really was lovely. It was a tearjerker. She really got outside of herself and she seemed genuine for a change. The second thing that happened is that because Zari and Annie had been feuding, Zari told Annie she wasn't invited to the wedding, and Zari did not come, although people were kind of expecting she would. um, and so she didn't make it. Diamond didn't make it because his flight got delayed. Baby, he went straight home, only to find that Mr. Lovelorn Andile, who missed Zari at the wedding, she wasn't there. He said he called her and I miss you and I wish you were here. You're the person I want to see. He gets in his car and drives over. By then, Diamond is home with her and the children. Diamond is like, "Hey man, what's up? What's up?" And they dapping it up. That if you don't know what a dap is, when they giving you all of that hand jive. So anyway, he thinks that Andile is there to see him. They sit down, and I will give Andile one thing. He manned up. He didn't try to pretend that he was there to see Diamond. He said, "I'm here to see her." And you should see the curtain of disappointment that comes over Diamond's face. It is shocking. So, uh, season 2 is going to be something. I binge watched to the end, and I have a feeling that Nadia may not be in season 2. I don't know, just a feeling because she's been kind of dialing herself back a little bit. So I'm not sure what that's about. Um, I know Andile and Zari will be there for sure. Black Girl Magic is Slay. She says here, a black author who coined the term "Make America Great Again" back in 1993. Check out her book, Parable of the Talents. Okay, I'll check it out. Oh, am I tracking on? Oh, sorry, I really missed your first message. Am I tracking on Octavia Butler? No, but there was an instructor at Hampton who convinced me to read her in exchange for me not complaining anymore about reading sci-fi and futuristic books. But I love Octavia Butler. My favorite is Zora Neale Hurston. I'm sorry. But yes, I do know about Octavia Butler. I'm sorry I didn't scroll up to see your first message. But yeah, we need to check that out. And I do have a book review playlist, by the way. I abandoned one book because it got too emotional for me, but the other playlist was very interesting, fascinating womanhood. So check that out if you want to know how people used to think back in the 20s about women. Um, but yeah, I'm going to wrap this up for now, and I will tell you I look forward to seeing Annie again in season two. I'm about to binge watch season two now. I have to admit, I forced myself to do this live because I really wanted to keep going, but I would never remember and be able to tell you, oh, that's season one and oh, that's season two. So now I've done season one and then I'll do season two. I'll stay up tonight and watch it for a little while. If you don't know anything about Annie and Tu Baba, it's bad news up the road, but I won't be a spoiler. I'll just leave it there. So I'll keep you posted. That's it for tonight. It really is. Thanks for joining me. I see a lot of people liked and subscribed in the little time we've been on. Thank you. I am really working hard to find a schedule so I can be more consistent with my broadcast and going live and announcing that I'm going to go live before I go live, all the things that I should do that I simply do not. It's a personality flaw. So that's it. All right, good people. Good talking to you. I think I'll say good night for now on the Midnight Oil and see you again next time. Bye for now.